Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your host RT, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite games, Gears of War. And I'm going to cover the topic, the new re-release or remaster version of Gears of War that's coming multi-platform now to PlayStation 5. And I'm excited about it. So I'm going to talk about 4 bad things and 4 good things, the good and the bad. And these are all my personal opinion, okay? So just to let you know a little background, I am a huge Gears fan. I have got the seriously achievement on most Gears games. So yeah, I played some Gears of War. I haven't played lately because they haven't had anything lately, but let's get on with that. So let's first start off with, I jotted some notes here, the bad. Okay, so we'll do one bad, one good, one bad, one good, and so forth. So first thing with the bad, with Gears coming out on multi-platforms, you got the Xbox fanboys, okay? Now, a lot of people are gonna say, oh, well, you know, they're just upset. You know, the fact that one of their key franchises, Gears of War, is going over to the PlayStation, and for fear of, oh, you know, it's always been that way. You always, whenever a major IP, especially a first person IP, goes somewhere else, you're gonna have that hate and negativity. So that can be considered a bad thing. Okay. One of the good things, though, cross-platform. Okay, so what that's going to do is make it to where now instead of being limited to the pool of just Xbox or PC players, now you can actually play this game with cross-platform with PlayStation people and have a bigger audience. The game's more accessible, so that's a good thing. Another con is the fact that people feel that Microsoft is losing its identity. You know, with games coming out on the Switch, games coming out on PlayStation and so forth. And now, if you asked me this maybe 5 years ago, I'd agree. You know, I'd say, what's going on with Xbox? But let's be real. With the history of Xbox within the last like 4 or 5 years, we already knew this was coming. We knew that, you know, with the release of other games, you know, on PlayStation previously, the Game Pass and, you know, games coming out early on multi-platforms, the purchasing of Blizzard, but they still got games on you know, PlayStation. Microsoft has pretty much said it without saying it, and sometimes even saying it, depends on who you ask. They're all about making games for multi-platforms. What do they say? Everything's an Xbox, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but we shouldn't be shocked. But a lot of people will feel like Xbox or Microsoft is losing their branding by making this move. So that can be considered bad. A good part is, if you're new, this is going to be a lot of people's first time playing Gears of War, especially since they're going back so far in the past with Gears of War 1. You're going to have a lot of noobs, and people can say, oh, I don't want to crush noobs. Well, no, I don't want to crush noobs, but doing some serious wall bouncing, because that's one thing with Gears of War, if they keep it intact, there is a skill gap. It's not like Call of Duty where, I mean, it takes skill for Call of Duty as well, but it's not like that. Gears, there's so many broken mechanics in Gears 1 that you can exploit, and straight up, sniping's not just handed to you on a plate, or handed to you on, you know, on a platter. You have to earn those. You got to pop those heads. You got to earn that. Weapons aren't just, everybody doesn't start with the same weapons. Gears plays different because you have to move to the power weapons and, you know, beat your opponent there, know the best routes and everything. So Gears isn't like just jump in and play. Okay, it is, but it's not. So to get to a higher level of mastery, you got to put the time in. So there's going to be a lot of noob stomping. If you're a noob, you might not be as excited about it. If you're a seasoned player, even going back, it's like riding a bike. That's a big deal. It's a good thing. You're going to love it. Okay. Another one of the major, and these are where the things get really bad. This is where it's really bad news for me. The first two, I'm kind of like whatever, but this one really hits home. Skill-based matchmaking. Okay, back in 06, the servers weren't that great when Gears of War came out. It was kind of 06, 07. It was basically, you had a host, okay, and the way it worked was you had one person, and then everybody was on that one person's, he's hosting the match, and he has the host will have the best connection, okay, and you'll be at a disadvantage if you're not the host player. Your connection won't be as good. But there was really no skill-based matchmaking that I remember back in the day. And, you know, but nowadays, you know, skill-based matchmaking, everybody's got to get a participation sticker. Everybody's got to feel good about themselves, and nobody can suck at games anymore. Or how dare we suck sometimes. I mean, it's games I suck at. Gears just ain't one of them. But there are games that I'm not that great at, and I've got my ass whipped some more until I actually either put enough time in to get good, or at least at a respectable level, or I just stop playing. Okay, so that's just, I feel like that's how you get better at gaming, not this skill-based matchmaking crap. But the way everything is now, there's a good chance you're not gonna get the same experience if you were around 20 years ago playing Gears as you are today online, because you're gonna have skill-based matchmaking. Now, how I know they're gonna have some form of it, how high they crank it up, because you don't want to be in a match full of everybody wall bouncing and just super sweaty. I mean, you'll get there eventually. Back in the day, you did have, the more people, the longer the game set out, more people did get to that level, but you don't want every match to be that way. Okay, but you know, who knows? So skill-based matchmaking might be a thing. Another piece of good news is though, the version of Gears they're picking, you're picking Gears of War 1. Now, for me personally, my order goes Gears of War 3, Gears of War 1, and then Gears of War 2. Gears of War 2 though is a beautiful, I love that game online. It's awesome and had a lot of innovations from Gears 1 to Gears 2. The only thing that I feel like Gears 2 did to me, and this is my opinion, and if I'm nitpicking, because I think like Gears 2 was a perfect game, it moved a little slow. Okay, and then they kind of nerfed the wall bouncing a little bit, and you know, you can still do it, but it's moved a little slower to me than Gears 1 did. Plus, Gears 1, it just has a more special place in my heart because that was the first Gears game and the first one that I played. I was in my 30s. Yeah. I was in my 30s when I played Gears 1. So yeah, I was a grown-ass man back then, but I enjoyed it. It was just a great time, a great game, and you know, so Gears 1 always has a special place in it, in my heart anyway. And the mechanics, I mean, I feel like the weapons were, the shotgun, obviously, Shotty was OP, the Nasher, but you know, at the same time, a lot of weapons were OP actually, but the maps and everything was cool. It's just, so I feel like this is a good, Gears 3, I think the skill gap will be almost too far to just throw somebody in there, especially with seasoned Gears 3 players. But Gears 1, while it can be crazy, I don't think it's as broken as, or as, I won't say broken, but as high of a ceiling as Gears 3 would be. So Gears 1, I think, is a good starting point. So that's a good thing. The last bad part I got is basically live service, okay? And you know what live service is basically like, if you Call of Duty and think of the shop where you get skins and you buy all this crap, okay? Gears 4, Gears 5, that Gears 4 had the loot boxes, Gears 5 just had the shop, and it was a disaster. You know, it was way too much money for what they were charging for those shops. And Gears has a lot of classic skins that we're gonna want. Fans of the series are gonna want classic skins for the guns, and they can do it. I didn't mind the loot boxes so much, loot crates. It's just making where you can, and you can actually earn them in game, so you don't have to pay all the money for it. But I'm not saying bring back loot boxes, but they can do it in a way kind of like Overwatch is doing it now, where you can actually make it where it's in game, and you can just play the game like the old school Gears. Just play the game, get so many executions, so many kills, so many whatever, hit these criteria and unlock the skins. But I feel like, you know, just in today's society, today's gaming culture, they're gonna jack the price up on skins. We're gonna see stupid stuff like emotes and you know, like Gears 5 did, those horrible emotes. So expect, is a good chance they might try to dig their hands deep in our pockets with live service kind of things like events and stuff like that. So that's one of the truths and realities. I mean, they're a business at the end of the day to make money, so that might happen. One more piece of good news is it's a new audience. Okay, so we're getting a new audience for Gears finally. A lot of people that are going to play this game probably weren't even born in 2006. You know, they might be younger than that, and it'll be their first time playing the original Gears of War 1. Now, they did have the remaster Ultimate Edition back in, I think it's 2013, 2014. Oh, maybe after that, maybe 2015, whatever was leading up to Gears 4, whatever that time frame was. And I enjoyed it. I feel like people said, oh, it wasn't true to the old Gears of War 1. There were some differences, but I feel like they made a heck of a lot of improvements to bring it up to a more modern time. And I feel like with this one, what they're promising with the campaign, and another thing, the campaign, I mean, I'm all about the multiplayer because I've seen the campaign already many times, but I'm all about the multiplayer. But for a lot of people, this will be their first time actually playing Gears. And there'll be a lot of people that actually are Xbox owners this would be their first time playing Gears as well, because you played Gears 3, Gears 4, and all that, 4 and 5, but a lot of people never played the old Gears of War game, and I apologize because I kind of got a cold, so I'm a little congested. But so this would be a good thing, new audiences. And the last good piece, I'll end it on a good note, is it's coming out in August of this year, and that means it'll give me something to play instead of playing whatever version of Call of Duty they got coming up. Call of Duty sucks right now, and that's a video for another time, videos for another time. And like I say, I'm a fan of Call of Duty. I've always loved Call of Duty. I'm just too old to ignore all the stupid stuff they're doing. But to go back to Gears, it's going to give us something to play multiplayer wise that's familiar to old school fans and can be basically accepted, in the new school era with the new modifications and updates they're going to do to bring it up to a more modern audience. So I feel like this is a perfect thing to give me something to do between the end of the year or middle of the year and Christmas and beyond, playing Gears of War again, Gears of War 1 again, because Call of Duty and Battlefield's coming up, so that might be something, but it's Call of Duty. It was supposed to be Grand Theft Auto this year, and obviously they pulled the plug on that for another year, but that's fine. So that just kind of gives you a roundup of how I'm feeling about the new Gears of War. Well, not new, the remastered Gears of War. I just want to see what they're going to do with it. I'm pumped to play it. I'm glad it's going to PlayStation 5. I mean, I'm kind of non-biased. I'm more of an Xbox guy because that's kind of what I play more of. But I love the PlayStation as well. But I'm excited for them to actually put this game on. I'm excited just to bring it back. Putting it on PlayStation, that's just gravy. But the fact that they're bringing it back a third time for us to play, Gears of War 1, which is, like I said, if you haven't noticed already, probably one of my favorites, Gears 3, then Gears 1 in the series. Yeah, I'm pumped about it. But that's just some of basically my main thoughts of how I'm feeling about Gears of War coming back and it being on the PlayStation, being on the PC, which it's already been on the PC twice now, on the Xbox twice now, and first time on the PlayStation. So, but that's gonna do it for me. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about Gears of War coming out for the PlayStation 5? How do you feel about it just coming back? And are you, like me, worried about skill-based matchmaking and live service transactions? Because I think if anything's gonna kill this game, dead in the water is gonna be skill-based matchmaking and live service transactions. So with that, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Take care of yourself. Protect your peace. God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.